Bringing stats like a kingpin. MMA knowledge, nieces, nephews all lean in. Breaking down fights, calling stat daddy supreme. On just a tip show, he's cooking up a dream. Uncle Weezy, he the man. Dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand. MMA guru, more than just a fan. Wanna know the numbers? Weezy got them cataloged. From the fighters reach down to how many times they dog. Just a tip living, breaking it down slick. Hit you with the knowledge, won't miss a single trick. Uncle Weezy, he the man. Dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand. MMA guru, more than just a fan. Balls deep predictions, he be making those calls. Getting in the details, opponents feeling small. From jazz and takedowns, got the whole fight ID. Uncle Weezy spitting truth, no lie, keep it G. Blow the horn, blow the horn. Stat Daddy Weezy not showing no scorn. Fight Night Kingdom, he wearing the crown. Break it down for the peeps, never looking like a clown.
Oh, yes. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday afternoon. We had the weigh-ins for UFC 308 late last night because we're going to be starting early tomorrow morning from Abu Dhabi live. We got to get up early to watch these fights. So they're going to have to get up pretty early in the morning, though, to fool their Uncle Weezy, because I think I got something special for you guys today. I think this thing is cashing. The numbers are lining up. The gematria is coming together like butt cheeks, and we are going to cash this thing this week, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm here to share it with you guys this week. If you look in the description of this video, you're going to find an 80% off coupon to join my Dub Club, which is going to get you access to my fight write-ups, access to my Discord, access to all my track bets, access to my stats package that has individual fighter stats, matchup fighter stats, betting models for over-under bets and prop bets, and also what else we got in there? There's something else I'm forgetting. It doesn't even matter. It's so much stuff for only $5 a month to try it out. It's an introductory first month coupon code. Oh, yeah, I forgot. 4 hours plus of exclusive members-only content every single week for every single card of the year. I do Probability, which is a show where we use our betting models to find plus TV bets on every fight that match up with our stylistic reads. And it also includes an over 2-hour balls deep breakdown where I share my fight write-ups with you on every fight for the card. And we find a pick, we find the best bets, and we break down the fight based on all these different criteria that help us make better decisions at the end of the day. So check out the link in the description of this video. Dub Club 80% off coupon code is going to get you 1 month's membership to my Probability UFC stats package for only $5 a month. There's a few more spots left in there for you guys, so get them now before they go away. But we've got work to do. We've got a parlay to cash, you guys. And I think that you're going to see here very soon that this thing is definitely cashing. The numbers are coming together. The reads are good. And when you see what I got in store for you today, you're going to put your mortgage on this thing. And my friends, you're going to cash. So let's make some money together this week. Leg 1. Rinat Fakhretdinov by decision at -104. Still undefeated in the UFC. He's facing the short notice Carlos Leal, who is a very good fighter. Very good fighter. But we haven't seen Carlos's grappling tested much. And I think that we're going to see Rinat be just as likely to land big shots on the feet, especially early in this fight. But Carlos Leal is very durable. Rinat Fakhretdinov is very durable. I think that this fight is going the distance. So I have to go with the guy where I think he's going to be able to win just as many minutes and moments on the feet as Carlos Leal. But I do know that Rinat's wrestling is very, very good. And we don't know much about Carlos Leal's wrestling. So I have to come to the assumption, based on the guys that he's already beaten and had success with his wrestling against, you're beating Nick Dalby and you're having a 50-50 fight with Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. I think you're going to be okay beating Carlos Leal. So this is going to get the number up on our parlay nice and early here. So we're going with Rinat Fakhretdinov by decision, which is sitting at minus 104 on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. That is going to be leg number 1 of the parlay. Leg number 2 of the parlay, Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. I got Abu Magomedov at minus 139 here to shave the ass of Bruno Hulky Ferreira. Bruno is a guy that's very dangerous early in fights. He is very much a finish or bust type of fighter. Looks to land that big shot and doesn't do much in between. He throws 100% power into all of his strikes. He's very explosive, very muscular, and he doesn't have much of a gas tank. Ordinarily, we would have to worry about Abus being the one that gasses out later in fights. In this one, I would think that Abus's conditioning is actually going to be better than Bruno Ferreira's. And while I both think that they're very live to land big shots on the feet, this is another fight where I see the minute-winning capabilities on the Magomedov side due to the wrestling that this guy has. We just saw him get takedowns and over 11 minutes of control time in the Warlley Alves fight. And I think that there's going to be a similar opportunity in this fight for him to do the same thing. So leg number 2, I think Abus is going to shave his ass. I could see him winning a dominant decision, but I could also see him getting a finish in the second or the third round if he's able to get to a dominant position on the mat. So Abus Magomedov, looks like that line has moved to minus 148, which is a shame because this thing was going to come together like butt cheeks in a way that I think we were going to get a much better number. Oh, that pisses me off. Okay. Leg number 3 is another Magomedov fight, and it is going to be the Shara Magomedov Armen Petrosian fight. And we're going with fight starts round 3 for this one. So let me give you my, no, that's match events and statistic. Minus 335 for fight to start round 3. If you look at my over-under betting model for this fight, you can see that all 3 of Shara's fights have have started round 3 in the UFC, and 4 out of 5 Petrosian fights have. The only one that didn't was the one where he was submitted by Rodolfo Vieira. Shara Magomedov does not know how to spell sub. He doesn't know how to spell BJJ. And as a matter of fact, neither does Armen Petrosian. So in this era of reduced knockouts, and with these guys mostly being point fighters, I like this fight going the distance. And the minus 335 price is actually quite fairly priced when you compare it to the previous performance of these two fighters, where 7 out of their 8 combined UFC fights have started round 3. So 87.5%, and we're only paying 77% on the line. I like this number. I think it's a pretty safe stylistic play. I don't see either of these guys getting knocked out, especially Shara. Shara's got a crazy chin on him. And Armen is a guy who has been knocked out before, but I also think he's going to be maintaining distance here and kind of point fighting. So I like this minus 335. Yes, fight starts round 3 for Magomedov Petrosian. And that brings us to leg number 4, the last leg of this parlay, which I did not write down. Oh, my God, this is embarrassing. Okay, leg number 4. I'm going to write it down for you guys. Leg 4. Okay, save. And leg number 4 is going to be Laurent the Miracle Murphy to win by decision at minus 138. If we look at the advanced stats for this fight, you can see that Dan Ige has never been finished in the UFC. And Laurent Murphy's never submitted anybody at the UFC level, and he's only knocked out 2 of his 6 wins at the UFC level. So I think that Laurent Murphy, like almost 100% of his win condition in this fight is by decision, because Dan Ige has historically been one of the most durable guys in the entire division. He's still only 33 years old. So it's not like he's like this 39-year-old who's still like holding on to his durability, and it's just a matter of time before he gets knocked out. I think Dan has some of the most reliable durability in the game today. And Laurent Murphy is somebody that I think is such a good minute winner. Such an excellent athlete. He's so fast and athletic. He's very defensively sound. So I think the most common path here for Laurent Murphy is for him to win by decision. Yet his money line is approaching minus 250, and we can get this decision prop at minus 138. That's hang on just a second here. Sorry, I was not prepared today with all of my banners, but when we did this earlier, right, and we put that Laron Murphy by decision in there, and we go to method, Laron Murphy by decision at minus 136, it comes out to plus 649. But when Abus Magomedov was at minus 139, this came out to plus 666, the number of the beast on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. And who is the beast, ladies and gentlemen? It is Chris Barnett. 2 UFC belts, the BMF belt. He is the beast himself. The parlay came out to the number of the beast, 666. And my guy, Guernica, actually had a great comment in here. And he said, cannot wait to see Iron Maiden play Beast Boys Knockout. Numbers 308, the number of the beast. And Hell and Fire are going to be released, going to eclipse what Sinead did. Rest in peace with Conor McGregor. One of the great walkouts of all time was Sinead O'Connor singing for Conor McGregor. And this one could be even better if Bruce Dickinson came out like, oh, like singing the number of the beast while the Chris Beast Boy Barnett came out. But folks, the numbers fucked us over. And now all of a sudden we're only getting plus 649 instead of plus 666. So this pisses me off. Now I feel like the thing's not going to fucking cash. And I feel like the numbers are against us, but still, I like all of these lines. That Fakhretdinov by decision. I know a lot of people are on Leal, but he only needs a couple of takedowns in order to win the minutes of this fight. And Leal is not that much better of a striker than Rinat Fakhretdinov is in order to think that he's going to find enough minutes to win this fight. So love that Fakhretdinov by decision. Abus Magomedov is your Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. I have a 3-unit bet on his money line this week. So I love that second leg, obviously. Leg 3 is one that the data likes it. My stylistic read likes it. And my over-under pricing model is telling me that it's a fairly priced bet. So I think that one hits. And Laron Murphy, by decision, I mean, it's almost 100% of his win equity, in my opinion. And you're getting a big discount to get to play that decision line based on the difference between his money line. So, yeah, if it came out to plus 666 and Iron Maiden did do the walkout for Chris Barnett, I mean, this thing would have had literally a 100% chance of cashing. So now we need to call on Bet Rivers Sportsbook to get Abus's money line back to minus 139 so that we can cash this thing at plus 666. Who's with me? Huh? Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me to cashing this thing? Who's coming with me to the $5 Dub Club promo code? 80% off. I've literally lost my mind. We've lost our lease here. Everything must go. All the memberships must go. $5 for 1 month. You're going to get like 16 hours of exclusive subscriber-only content. You're going to get all this shit, the matchup stats, the individual fighter stats, the over-under betting model, the prop betting model, all the fight write-ups, fight by fight by fight, each one totaling 4 or 5 pages. You're going to get so much information. If you are a do-it-yourself MMA gambler and you want to have access to all the relevant information that will take you 5 or 10 minutes to read and look at all the numbers and come up with picks of your own using the information that I'm putting out there, if you're serious about MMA gambling and you are not part of my stats package, you are doing yourself a massive disservice, because this will take so much time off of your hands. Because believe me, the amount of hours I'm putting in every single week to make all this information available for my Dub Club and Patreon people makes it so I don't have enough time to do other things in life that you guys would probably like to do. Let your Uncle Weezy put the work in and you guys benefit from it. Few more spots available. Check out that promo code for UFC 308, 80% off the Dub Club membership. Check it out. Let's see what you guys are doing here in the chat. What's up with you guys today? What do you got for your Uncle Weezy? Let's see here. We got my guy Olajuwon Dream is in the room saying, let's go, let's get greasy. We've got Olajuwon saying, yes, dude, I was DMing with Brady about this. Something definitely does seem off with Chimaev this week. Body language terrible at weigh-ins, hanging his head at the presser. He spoke about being in depression recently and wonder if he's not over. Yeah, so you guys, I'm not touching that fight. The Ibo Aslan Rafael Cerqueira fight, I refuse to touch it. And the co-main event, Whitaker and Chimaev, I refuse to touch it because Chimaev looks like a completely different fighter. It's really bizarre, his behavior. I've never seen him act like this. All that confidence, all that braggadocio, all that that shit-eating wild man, you know, that's like slithering his tongue out and like looking at you with that bizarre look before fights. That scary dude appears to be gone. I mean, like the Khamzat Chimaev that I know would have eaten his own child rather than pay for a surgery. You know, this guy just looks completely different. And I just can see so many, the range of outcomes potential for Khamzat Chimaev in this fight kind of just, it crosses the entire spectrum. So I feel it's such a high variance fight, such a very unpredictable fight. I'm just going to stay away from it, and I'm just going to enjoy the fight. This is something that I just don't want to be part of it at all. Khamzat looks bizarre, and he's saying if he's not over it yet. Also spoke about having a 1.5-year-old son. So it's going to give him a new perspective. Also not looking nearly as shredded as he usually does. Agreed. I don't know, man. Seems like he doesn't want to be there or fight this weekend. I could be tripping. He might really be round one or bust this weekend. And I tend to agree with you, Olajuwon. But this is a 5-round fight too. So that could change things up as well and make both guys fight in somewhat of an unpredictable manner. So that's one fight that I want absolutely no part of it. And I'm just going to use it as an opportunity to gather information on Khamzat Chimaev. Remdog saying, oh, yes, now we're cooking with grease. Instead of cooking with gas, we are cooking with grease, baby. We got Robert Saladino saying, Uncle Weezy, I can be swayed to be credulous in a lot of things. Aliens, Bigfoot, lizard people. But there's no way that you can convince me that Oral Bai is 26 years old. He's not 26 years old, Robert. It's just been 26 years since he's been unfrozen. Okay? That's what we know. So how long he was frozen in that block of ice, we have no clue. It could literally be since the previous Great Flood. It could be literally since the previous Ice Age. We're talking maybe 12,800 years ago. The previous cataclysm. This guy could have been in a cave somewhere in the Caucasus or somewhere in Central Asia. And when the flood came, and then those sea levels, they rose, right? He could have gotten frozen in there. And then how long is he in that block of ice? We have no idea how long he was in the block of ice. How long was he alive before he got frozen by the Ice Age? We don't know that either. So, yeah, he's not 26 years old, but we know it's been at least 26 years, Robert, since he's been unfrozen out of that block of ice. A real life in Maltabek Oral Boy is going to be stepping into the cage here and looking for his 4th UFC win, and I can't wait to see it, you guys. Colby saying this intro song is so sick. Gets me fired up. I love it, man. Shout out to my guy Matt from the Golden Octagon. Put that together for me, and it is part of the rotation for sure from now on. We got Desi Duran in the room saying, Weezy the GOAT. What is up, Desi? We got Jacob saying, I've had sex with my girl to Weezy's intro. Oi! Dude, yeah, that'll make you really give her a good pounding. And yeah, that's what great music does, man. You know, I think music can set a great soundtrack for great poundings. And yeah, get at it, Jacob. Do your thing, brother. We got Broke D-Gen saying, I'm a big-time freestyler. I do it on my own. That's what I say. I don't have a phone. That's a good one. It's a piece of shit. That's what I'm here to say, Weezy, and I love it. And that's it. What is up, Broke Degen? He's freestyling in the chat for us. We got Jeff K. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you in here. We got my guy Tristan in the room saying, let's get it. Plenty of opportunities this weekend. Yeah, this is a pretty fun fight card, man. There's two, like I said, I'm staying away from that Hamzat fight. I'm staying away from that Aslan Cerquera fight because I have no idea who Cerquera is. But other than that, man, there's some really good fights on this card. Yeah, I know. Kyler let us down, but we go again, you know, and it wasn't Kyler, you guys. Even if Kyler had gotten the job done for us, I would have let you down on the under 3.5 rounds in the main event. So we got the first two legs of the Greasy four-legger last week, and one of the guys asked a question in the chat, and he was saying, you know, why did you add Kyler? It's a very wide line and doesn't add much value. And he was completely right about that. I do try to end on a wide line, and I was shuffling things around, and it was going to be Kyler was the last leg. But then one of my favorite parlay pieces of the week was actually the Hernandez under 3.5 rounds at -280. So I threw that one in there. So it, you know, like we should have just kept the parlay to 2 legs last week. We would have made almost as much because it was the 2 wide legs that didn't add much to the parlay that wound up screwing it up. So yeah, this one, you know, we're gonna hope that this one cashes, and if you know we can get Abu back to -138 and get this thing back to +666, the number of the beast, Chris Beast Boy Barnett. Oh, you know, I mean, it would be awesome, but right now we don't have it. And I have many freestyles that are great. They're about Crack Amico's diss tracks, and my fate is to have the best freestyles in the land. Trust me, I've been doing it since I was pooping in my pants. There we go. Broke Degen just ripping bars for us. We got my guy Larry Mavid saying, what up, fam? What's up, Larry? Welcome to the Dub Club. Appreciate you joining up, my man. We got Jeff Bruno saying the oi made it through loud and clear. Alhamdulillah. Good to see you in here, Jeff. Yes, let's go. We got Benino saying oi. We got Email Mailson saying big ups, Weezy. Big up yourself, Email Mailson. Good seeing you in here. Yitro saying, yo, I signed up for the Dub Club and it's already paying off. Check it out. Highly recommended. $5. The description of the video. Click on that shit, you guys. Still some spots left to sign up for only $5 a month. If you don't like it, you can just cancel it. It only costs you $5, but you're going to get access to, like I said, at least 8 hours over the next 4 weeks. I'm sorry, 16 hours of subscriber-only content. You're going to get all those betting models. You're going to get all the stats. You're going to get all the matchup stats. You're going to get the picks. You're going to get the write-ups, the Discord, all of it. Check it out, you guys. Zach Johnson in the room saying, oi, and he's saying, what's up, Weezy? We got, yeah, Leo was definitely looking roided up. He's got a little bit of acne, you know, he's got those muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles. But you know what? Renat's on them too. They're all on the steroids, you guys. We got Red Bar saying Red Bar watches the Greasy four-leg parlay every week. What's up, Red Bar? We got AN saying, let's go. We cash in this week. We got Fernie in the room saying, oi, what's up, Uncle Weezy? Money, money, money. Let's get it, man. I like Abus a lot too, Jacob. I think he's going to get the job done this week. You know, obviously, when you bet on somebody like Abus against somebody like Ferreira, you understand that it could go tits up. You understand that guy Ferreira can punt somebody's head into the cheap seats and your bet will be over quickly. But that's one of the possible iterations of the fight. One of the other possible iterations is that Abu sleeps him in the first round, just like Nursultan Ruzaboyev did, who's another tall, long guy that's difficult to get inside on. That was something that Ferreira struggled with. So, you know, I think it's a great opportunity for Abus to win this fight. I think he's the more well-rounded fighter. And I think he's the guy that can win a ton of minutes in grappling exchanges in this fight. So let's see how that one goes. Whitaker Fight Week. Oi, 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 says Aussie, a fight fan. Good to see you hanging out in here. We got MMA Bill Counter in the room with that Tony Kelly picture with the guitar. I love that, man. That's a great one. He's saying, oi. We got MMA Bill Counter saying, he's the Muslim Captain Morgan, so he does not drink. He does not drink alcohol, but he goddamn looks like a pirate, all right. Olashuan agrees. And my guy Red Bar is investigating fixed fights in the UFC from 2024 in the last many years, a specific state commission. And that commission might be Missouri, my friends. It's going to be interesting to look into that. We got Zach Johnson saying, yeah, even if Ige wins the fight, they will rob him a decision. I think they might. You know, I see another reason I like LaRon Murphy. Same reason I put Gene Matsumoto by decision in that parlay last week. And the same reason I tracked the bet on Gene Matsumoto by decision. One of my favorite angles, I probably shouldn't be giving this out for free on YouTube, but whenever there's a fight that I think is going to go to decision, and one of the fighters is undefeated, the undefeated fighter by decision, they get so many nods. Usually, and we just saw the opposite though with Pennington and Pena. Usually, if there's a close fight, the champion gets the nod. Usually, if there's a close fight, the undefeated fighter gets the nod. So I think that the Fakredinov fight goes to decision. The bookies do as well. And I think that Fakredinov will get the nod. He's not undefeated, but he is undefeated in the UFC. So, yeah, I do think that LaRon Murphy, though, is an undefeated fighter. The one time that we saw him have a close decision in the UFC, he got the nod, and a lot of people thought Santos won that fight. But Santos really did do a lot of wrestling. I remember watching that fight live. I had Murphy. Murphy was the ass shaving of the week. And I thought I got gifted, totally bailed out. Then I watched it back and I'm like, okay, I can kind of see how they gave that to Murphy. But yeah, that was a very close fight. Larry saying, wait, what? I was expecting a Barnett spinny shit KO as the last leg. Why are you ignoring the safest plus EV play of the week? Because check it out. We all know that's hitting, right? I mean, Kennedy Nzechukwu has no chance to win this fight. So you can just put that one on your own. You know, the Greasy four-legger is behind that this week. That's the bet to make. I mean, Larry knows it. Everybody in the Discord knows it too. Oh shit. Substituted for over 1.5 comes out to plus 692. Yeah, and you're getting a better price than we are, even though you're getting a more expensive leg there. So that's great. Yeah, if you've got bet 365, that looks like the place to do this parlay. We got Broke Degen saying, oh, wow, Jesse on fire and Uncle Weezy live at the same time. Literally my only two people that could collide MMA collision right now. We got Sultan saying, oi, what's happening, Unc? What's up, Sultan? Londo's like the number of the beast, 66. I swear to God, you guys, it came out to plus 666. And I saw Guernica's comment in the chat. I'm like, this works out perfectly. But then they you know, the numbers just moved a little bit and screwed us. So Londo is tailing. Fighter most likely to finish fight in KO, TKO, submission, or decision. So my decision bet would be LaRon Murphy. My KO bet would be probably Ibo Aslan. I would say Ibo Aslan or Jeff Neal would be my most likely guys to get a KO. And for submission, I think Farid Basharat could be live this week. I'm looking at this Magni Protest card because I'm going to put out those stats for my Dub Club and Patreon members later on tonight. I got to get to work on that after we do this video. But yeah, submission for this card. Let me just go to the... It's definitely not Topuria Holloway. Could be Hamzat. Hamzat might get a submission. Not this fight, not this fight, not this fight, not this fight. Not that fight. Probably not Rombeski oral by. Abus by submission, maybe. Probably not that fight. I mean, like Farid would probably be the guy most likely to win by decision, or Ismail Nardiev. He's just, it's weird. It's very weird, but it could just be like a change in the personality, and he could come out there and look in the cage, regardless of how he's acting outside of it. He might look like the same old Hamzat in the cage. So it's just weird. So weird. I'm not touching that fight. Larry saying, I think Hamzat may have gotten off the crack pipe now that he's not around Till anymore. I don't think they were smoking crack. They were doing they were doing something a little more functional, probably just straight cocaine, right up the nose, the old-fashioned way, the 80s way, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't know. It's just weird. We got BT saying, "Oh, what's up, Unc? Happy Friday." Yes, sir. It is always good on Fridays, man. We got to wake up early tomorrow. We got Richie's laughing his ass off. So is Jordan. We got, oh no, Phil Lesh from the Grateful Dead died. I did not know that. Oh, it's a shame. I've got a great Grateful Dead story. I've told it before on the air. I went to Memphis to see them at the Pyramid Theater back in 1990. 4 or 5. I would have to look it up online. And we didn't have tickets. We didn't get into the show. But a bunch of people actually rushed the doors of the Pyramid Theater, overpowered security. It's the first time in history a Grateful Dead enthusiast has overpowered security anywhere. But they did it. They got into the show. It was the first day I ever tried acid in my life, and we wound up going to the Beale Street Blues Festival, which was like 3 or 4 blocks from the Pyramid Theater in Memphis, and wound up seeing B.B. King do The Thrill Is Gone at B.B. King's bar on Beale Street. We went to go see them. I didn't get to the show, but some of my friends did see that show. I had a great time that weekend. Grateful Dead show in Memphis, Tennessee. What a memory that was for me, man. We got Tristan saying, "Whoa, Weezy, you know about the floods 12,800 years ago? Common Weezy W." Yeah, man, that is every civilization has an origin story that starts with a flood, and yeah, those floods happened 12,800 years ago, and Maltebec Oral Boy was frozen in a block and preserved for literally thousands of years, and now here he is, winning fights in the UFC, showing you that being a Neanderthal is the best base for MMA. I feel like Magomed is going to get a KO. Robert, it's an Abu Dhabi card. You got to be way more specific than Magomed. It's like 4 of them. We got Magomed Ankalaev. We got Shara Magomedov. We've got Abus Magomedov. There's Magomeds all over the damn place, but you're probably talking about Ankalaev. And so Rakic has been knocked out once in the UFC. It was by Yuri. He's also had an injury knockout, which counts as a knockout loss with the knee injury. I tend to think that this is going to decision, but Ankalaev is very precise, and Alexander Rakic is not a guy that's known for like an impregnable defense. So I could see Ankalaev getting a knockout. I mean, it could absolutely happen. I feel like Magomed Ankalaev has most of the finish upside in this fight. I think Magomed's very durable, and I think we've seen Rakic kind of, when he gets in that pocket, sometimes leave that chin up there and put himself into positions where he can get cleaned up. We got my guy Mushroom MMA in the room. What's up, Unc? I'm sneak watching at work, tailing, and I tailed Mushroom recently, you guys. One thing I did was I went and I got some blueberry muffins from the Jewel here when I was doing some grocery shopping, and it reminded me when I was a kid and my dad used to have pecan rolls at the restaurant that he owned. And what he would do is he would take that pecan roll and he would split that shit in 3, and then he would put a pat of butter on the grill, and then he would put that pecan roll in the butter, a grilled pecan roll. Well, I know that my guy Mushroom does grilled blueberry muffins, and that's something that I got 4 of them in the kitchen, and I've been slicing those bitches in half, putting them in an egg pan with some butter in there, and grilling up that blueberry muffin. And let me tell you something. If you haven't had a grilled blueberry muffin before, you're fucking up in life, and you need to get on that shit right now, you guys. Grilled blueberry muffin. Check it out. That's where I'm tailing Mushroom, because he's one of the guys who knows about grilled blueberry muffins. Smash that like, ladies and gentlemen. Kyler is not that guy, I guess. Yeah, dude. But you know what? Rob Font, you got to give him a ton of credit. That was a hell of a performance by Rob Font. I had no idea he was training with Firas Zahabi, and we saw a guy actually fight with a game plan, which is something so strange that Firas Zahabi seems to have game plans for his fighters. And they go out there and they do smart things. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a coach that tells you the best way to win. And guess what? Font switched camps, went to one of the great game planners and coaches in the game, in Faraz Sahabi, and boy, the results just spoke for themselves. He did a fantastic job. He stopped the takedowns in the second and third round. He outvolumed him, and he pressured the shit out of him, which actually made him extremely tired, and he won that fight. So I don't think Kyler had a great performance, but we've got to leave that in the rearview mirror and admit to ourselves that Rob Font turned back the clock at like 38 years of age and looked phenomenal in there. What's up, Londo? Good to see you hanging out in here. Yeah, I don't mind that either, Robert. I think that fight's going to decision. I'm picking Jeff Neal to win by decision, but you always got to worry about a Jeff Neal knockout. That dude has got heavy hands, but RDA is a very durable dude, so I don't mind that over 2.5 either. I think that's a good look. I've been thinking Abus by KO, man. I see Bruno getting reckless and desperate. I can absolutely see it happen. I'm picking Abus by decision, actually, but I think he's very live for a KO here as well, which is why I just bet the money line. Yeah, I know. Everybody is on Abus this weekend, and the line's not moving much. So that's always something that kind of sticks in my craw a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, Abus could wind up sleeping early. We know that, but you got to make the bets when they give you what you think is a gift line. You can't just think everything's in a trap. Everything's a trap. You just got to sometimes say, you know what, -135 for the guy that's just as likely to land a big shot. He's fought the better brand of competition. He's the much better wrestler, and he's fought the much better brand of competition. I'll take my shot on Abus. You guys think the weight situation will have any impact on Basharat Hugo? I can't help but feel Hugo didn't even try. Yeah, what that has me believing is that maybe a fight doesn't go to decision is the right play for that fight, because if Hugo's coming in 10 pounds heavy and he's already only had one UFC fight and it was a real stinker, it wouldn't seem smart for Hugo to just sabotage himself that way, which is exactly what he did. And if he's trying to get cheeky to try to get some kind of an advantage in a fight where he's like a +450 underdog and nobody's expecting him to win, I think he's doing himself a disservice. But I think Javid's going to finish him. We got my guy Dix Insider in the room saying, Prophet Weezy, can we please get an oi for your guy Juan Camilo Ronderos, who just got a win a couple weeks ago in Tough Enough. I think we all know how he chose to celebrate afterwards. Yeah, man, probably, and then just went railed lines and hung out with some Colombians. Yeah, man, good. Oi for our guy Juan Camilo Ronderos, one of my favorite impressions to do in the space. Yeah, shout out Juan Camilo Ronderos. Let's go. Yeah, rest in peace, Phil Lesh. That is a shame, man. But he gave us a lot of gifts over the years. Phil Lesh did. Billy Nicholson saying, "Oi, Weezy, you told me Robellis wasn't a fade spot last week, but I cashed my lane money line. Didn't cash his round 3 prop. Picked Robellis, but I told everybody that I was not betting on that fight. Well, I did. I bet the under 1.5 because I thought that Lane might be able to get a finish if he got a takedown. I was wrong about that, but yeah, Robellis's ground game is fucking awful. Yeah, but I'm glad you cashed your Lane money line. But yeah, the round 3 prop would have been even sweeter. But nice job cashing that Lane money line, dude. And I had a couple people in my Discord who hit Lane decision at plus 1,400. Crazy numbers. And I think that's awesome. Dude, yeah, Barnett by Rolling Thunder KO. Would that not be the best fucking highlight of the year? It absolutely would. Yitro saying, one golden rule in betting boxing and MMA. Beware of betting against the champion in his very first defense. They're almost always at their very best for that first defense. Ilya will be hard to beat. Yeah, unless you're a heavyweight. You know, it seems like the heavyweight belt, whoever wins it just loses it the next time around. Outside of heavyweight, man, yeah, you do see some people definitely defending that first chance. We got Elishawan saying cocaine. We got my guy Luke sparring with reality betting in here saying, what up, Weezy? It's good to see Luke hanging out in here. One of the great cappers out there in the space, having a phenomenal year. If you're not following Luke sparring with reality betting, SWR betting, I believe, on Twitter, you got to do it. The guy puts out awesome shit. great memes every single week. It's definitely a follow worth following. We got AN saying, Jewel Osco, I always stop by when in DeKalb at the in-laws. You know that your Uncle Weezy's a DeKalb guy at heart. I went to the Harvard of the Midwest, DeKalb, Sycamore. You go around there and you say, hey, you know, anyone know Uncle Weezy? You're going to have some people raising their hands. I'm a legend in DeKalb, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Jewel Osco, stand up. Albertson's grocery stores, stand up. Let's go. We got Robert saying, me and my friends decided acid alone wasn't enough, so we rented a bus with a driver and went to Great Adventure while on acid. Acid and roller coasters don't mix, trust me. So that's funny you mentioned that, because I've done acid and went to Great America before. So I remember going with my friends Dom and Chris and Dom's girlfriend Michelle, and that's his wife now. We went to Great America, took a hit of acid, and then I remember Dom and I, an hour and a half later, went back out to the parking lot to take another hit. And we went on all the roller coasters, and I'm afraid of roller coasters. I fucking hate roller coasters. But the only way I was going to ever have the guts to actually get on one was if I was tripping balls on acid. So I was tripping balls, and we went on the Batman roller coaster. We went on the Edge. We went on a lot of the roller coasters. Man, my neck was killing me the next day. It took me a couple of days to to recover from that, but we had so much fucking fun. But I would never do it again, and I don't think roller coasters are fun at all. So I can totally get how you didn't care for that, but I've done that as well, Robert. We had a great time. We got my guy Gerald in the room saying, oh yes, what a quick week. We are here again. Looks like an insane car, but I know I can always Uncle to get us some W's. Let's cash this one, you guys. Let's get this one. Good to see Gerald hanging out in here. We got Mike Pryor saying Hamzat always acts weird here lately before his fight. Team probably told him to calm down. Yeah, I mean, but does Hamzat Chimaev strike you as the kind of cat that listens to good advice? All of a sudden he's gonna be like, yes, you guys are right. I should calm it down. You know, I will be very even keel. No, he doesn't listen to anybody. That's why he still has got COVID. It's because he never stopped training the entire time he was sick and then would just wind up in the hospital and not know why. It's because he doesn't listen to advice. So I don't know, man. It's wild. We got Pickle Kush understanding the Encino Man reference. So you know he's got to be old like me. We got on Bet365 a few single game parlay, the over 1.5 with both of them getting 50 plus strikes. It comes out to plus 755. I think that's a safe number on the strikes. Well, Larry, you're on the Patreon now, so you can always look at this handy feature on the Patreon or on the Dub Club. He's on the Dub Club, and you can look at how many distance strikes per minute somebody lands, and Shara Magomedov is landing that number. Oh, yeah, I'm not sharing my screen with you guys here. Sorry. So let me get your comment off the screen. If you see right here, he's landing 8.26 distance strikes per minute and absorbing 4.24. And then if you go to the Armin Petrosian side, at distance, Petrosian's landing 7.67, and these guys are absorbing about 4.4. So if you take 4.4 times 15, that's going to give you about 64. So that's how many one guy would absorb if they were to stand and bang the entire time and the fight were to go to decision. So if you only need 50, with both of them getting 50 plus strikes, yes, I think that number is not bad at all. But what you have to hope is that Petrosian does not grapple successfully. Because if he does, that's where you're going to see the significant strikes landed go down if they're in the clinch and if they're on the mat. So if you think that they're going to stand at distance and bang, that's what you want to do. If you think that Petrosian's going to wrestle, that number probably doesn't hit. Yeah, okay, yeah, you meant Magomed ankle. I figured that much. I was just teasing because there's all the Magomedovs as well. But Rakic looked lost when he got hit by Jiri. But like you said in your breakdown, Jiri will force Rakic to fight and overpower. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is that while Rakic looked good early in that fight, you got to keep in mind that Yuri's not nearly as defensively responsible as Ankalaev is. So you can't expect Rakic to have as much success. But you got to remember, Ankalaev doesn't pressure anybody. He doesn't throw any volume. So just for him to overpower Rakic, he's going to have to do it with precision and really landing perfect shots, because he's not the guy that's walking you down, making you back up, and staying in your face with constant volume. So, yeah, like that last fight for Rakic against Jiri couldn't be against a more different opponent than Magomed Ankalaev. What is my opinion on Khamzat? My opinion is that I'm going to just stay away from that fight and just see what's going on with this dude, because it's a complete 180 in his demeanor and the way that he goes about his business on fight week. So it just has me spooked a little bit. And I feel like the range of outcomes are so wide on the Khamzat side that it's just smart to not bet on it. Watch the fight, gather some information, and it's going to be, a phenomenal fight between Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev. So I'm fine just staying away. And shout out my guy, Big Steve, checking in from down under, saying, "Oi, what is up, Big Steve? Good to see you hanging out in here, dude." We got Ucelis makes it saying Weezy over or under 1.5 Bruno versus Abus. Bruno isn't fighting Abus. Oh, Bruno Ferreira. Oh, I thought you were talking about Bruno Silva. I'm not betting a total on that fight. I could see it going to decision, or I could see either guy getting an early finish. So I think that line is right around a pick 'em. Let's see where I've got it on my talking Bruno versus Abu Sufyan. There it is. Over or under 1.5. Yeah, like the under is -120. My model thinks there's more value in the under at -120 than there is in the over at -110. But personally, I'm not touching this fight in terms of time props, because I could see it going either way. 25 plus makes it plus 725. 75 plus is 936. They've both hit 75 plus every time it goes the distance, but not by a big enough margin to be safe if it ends early round 3. Yeah, I would just stick with the 50 number. I think the 50 number is a good number. We got Uncle Weezy saying, D Spearman, what's up, D? Good to see you hanging out in here, man. We got Jeff saying the Pyramid in Memphis is now a Bass Pro Shop. It's also where Undertaker threw Mick Foley off Hell in a Cell. Holy shit, I didn't realize that. It's a Bass. The Pyramid Theater doesn't exist anymore? Oh my God. And then somebody just told me the other day that there's a New Mexico, and it's like right next to Arizona, and it's above the old Mexico. Dude, I am fucking getting old, you guys. I don't even know. I mean, the world I knew is gone. The Pyramid Theater doesn't exist anymore, and it's a Bass Pro Shop? What the? Unbelievable. Fernie is in the room saying he's leaning Ankalaev KO TKO. We got Big Steve saying, I unintentionally celebrated Ronderos' win too. Hey, you deserve to have fun just as much as anybody else, Big Steve. So get it, man. Enjoy. We got Mike Pryor saying, you're re. What is up, Mike? We got Larry saying, I just assembled a cell a few weeks ago when WWE was here. Oh my God. I work for the Stagehand Union as a side job. WWE is always fun to work, even though I never watched it. Oh, that's awesome, dude. We got Camden Dusenberry in the room saying, what's up, Weezy? Just curious, what have you done for work now and in the past? Never really heard you talk about it. So when I got out of college, I got a job working at the Chicago Stock Exchange, and I worked for the customer service desk at the stock exchange for about 6 months before I got an opportunity to clerk for one of the specialist firms. I worked for a firm called Melvin Specialists back in 1998. I worked for Stephen J. Shapiro Securities in 2000. I also worked for a company called Chicago Securities. I traded for 3 different firms on the floor of the Chicago Stock Exchange, trading over-the-counter stocks between 1998 and 2002. When the towers fell in 2001, the NASDAQ markets were already getting killed, and then they just kind of like went almost to zero. We all lost our jobs. I wound up being a head trader for a couple of different investment banking firms in downtown Chicago. And then in 2008, everybody kind of lost their jobs. Lehman went under. There was a big financial crisis. So I decided, since there were no jobs in finance anymore, and since finance had changed from a relationship-based business to more of a mathematical and quantitative-based business, I went back to school at the Harvard of the Midwest, Northern Illinois University, go Huskies, and got myself a statistics degree. When I got out of college and started looking for jobs, I realized that there's a lot of age discrimination out there, as I was already in my early 40s at the time, and wound up just not being able to get a job. Even though I had all this relevant financial experience, I had passed 3 actuarial exams. I had a degree in statistics, a degree in marketing, 5 years of experience in trading on the floor of the Chicago Stock Exchange. I had a Series 7, a 63, a 55. Nobody would hire me. So I started, I was already messing with like things like Microsoft Excel and R to do mathematical stuff. And I created a database of UFC stats and got the attention of DFS by the numbers with the work that I was doing, creating these stats packages that you see on the screen. And he asked me to do a show with him. We did that show. It was a DraftKings show that he was doing on Pub Sports Radio. We pitched the owner of Pub Sports Radio, Jeff Slaughter, a show called Stat Diggers. He jumped on, said he wanted to be a part of it. We did Stat Diggers back in, I want to say 2021, and we're still doing it now. We're no longer with Pub Sports Radio. We're on our own, but it's been a journey, man. I used to work on the floor of the stock exchange. I used to trade. I used to be a day trader. I used to be a trader for investment banking firms, doing execution for big clients. I mean, I've had a long road, and it's led me to this. You just never know where you're going to end up in life, you guys. And I certainly didn't see myself doing this when I went back to school. I saw myself working at sitting in front of some computer screen at a trading firm, feeding leads to people. I don't know how it worked out this way, but I'm glad that it did. And I'm getting a chance to kind of carve my own path here. And it's going well. I'm very proud of the progress that I've made. And I'm super happy that I've built this community of people that watch the work, that enjoy betting on fights. And I'm getting to use that statistics degree and my knowledge of markets and trading in order to create a job for myself doing something that I just didn't think that I'd be able to do. But I'm doing it, and I'm happy that I'm doing it, and I'm happy that you guys are along for the ride. And if you want to come along for the ride, check out that fucking link in the description of this video. 80% off 1 month Dub Club membership, only $5 this month instead of $25, and you'll get to trial this probability stats package that has all these amazing tools that I promise are going to make you a much more informed gambler on the UFC. You sell us in the room. What is happening, dude? We got Nasty saying that sounds intense. I've had beautiful experiences on both. I would say the experiences that I had on acid were slightly more memorable than the ones that I had on mushrooms, but I always enjoyed doing either one of them with my friends and just laughing my ass off. When the advice is coming from Katarov, yes. Yeah, if Katarov is in your ear, you best just nod and say yes. That dude is somebody you don't want on your bad side. Olajuwon Dream saying Hamzat said he was going to come visit that reporter in Australia after he said Rob was going to win. Yeah, and he would. I really do think that he would. I don't doubt it for a second. We got Paul in the room saying, hey, Uncle Weezy, what's up, dude? We got MMA J saying this card feels like a money pit. I hope you're wrong, but I'm not, it might be. These, I'm telling you something. These pay-per-view cards have been shady, man. And a lot of overs in these pay-per-view cards in the big cage. We'll see if it's a money pit, but I know that I'm trying to stay away from certain fights where I think I'm missing information. And evidently, my guy Luke, who's got Cerqueira sub at plus 920 this morning to feed the favelas of Brazil, Cerqueira has definitely submitted a couple of obese busboys on the Brazilian regional scene in demo fight G. And Ibo Aslan, I mean, the one time we saw him lose, he just got his back taken immediately by Anton Turkalj, and then I think it was a rear naked choke, or maybe it was ground and pound. I forget which, but I think it was a submission that Ibo lost by. So, yeah, 920. I mean, the guy's a complete unknown, but I think that probably is his path. It's definitely not standing in front of the last Ottoman. We got H. Hui in the room saying Ankalaev will hug if he doesn't like where the fight is going. And yeah, I think that would be smart of him, but Ankalaev doesn't fight smart that often. Weezy, Shara Magomedov by decision or Petrosian? I would say either Petrosian by decision or the Shara money line. That's how those are the two outcomes that I see. I think Shara has like 90% of the finish upside in that fight. And I think that if Petrosian wins, he's not submitting him and he's not knocking this dude out. It's going to be by decision. So if I were on that Petrosian side, I wouldn't be playing the money line. I'd be playing the decision prop personally. Camden saying plus 692 on Bet 365, and that's with Shara Petrosian over 1.5. So you guys, if you got Bet 365, do the Greasy 4-leg parlay there. Renat Fakhretdinov by decision. Magomedov, Abus Magomedov money line minus 139. Fight starts round 3 for Magomedov Petrosian, and leg 4 Laurent Murphy to win by decision. That's going to come out to plus 692, and you'll get the over 1.5 instead of the fight starts round 3. Definitely do that. We got Larry Mavid is laughing. We got Robert Saladino saying great times and memories. Growing up in Queens, New York in the mid-90s as a young adult was wild. Dude, I was growing up in the mid-90s in Chicago, Illinois, so we probably got some stories, Robert. We've probably seen some of the same bands that, you know, they passed through Chicago and then went to New York. So, yeah, man, funny stuff, dude. We got Christian in the room saying that New Mexico thing must be a conspiracy. No way that could be true. Dude, I heard it, though. There's a New Mexico. Now, I don't know, dude. I mean, like, I'm just feeling like the world is passing me by, you know, like what happened to my country? Now there's a New Mexico. I mean, like, but look, we do the best we can, right, you guys? Wait until he hears about New York. I've heard of England, you guys. We got AN saying, well, we got the DeKalb overlap, and my father-in-law was at the CME for 35 years. So I actually worked on the floor of the Board of Trade for a while as well, after 2008. Yeah, CME, that's some pit trading there. The commodities exchange, the mercantile exchange, great stuff, man. We got Justin Cash saying any prize picks. I have not looked at it this week, you guys, so I don't have anything for you on prize picks. My apologies. We got Robert saying he was a personal trainer, a preschool teacher, worked at Goldman Sachs, and now a director at a couple of YMCAs. That's wild because my girlfriend actually did some work with the YMCA. I remember right around the time my mom died back in 2012. She was working for doing some consulting work for the YMCA, and preschool teacher must have been wild. Personal trainer, that's it, dude. You really ran the gamut. That's a wide variety of jobs. That's really cool, man. I'm sure you got some great stories. Chris Barnett Sprinkle says H. Hui, Kennedy is a can. I think Kennedy's going to do really well at heavyweight, though, because there's a lot of cans up at heavyweight, but Kennedy's got a lot of natural gifts. And he's got something that really is going to work well in that division, and that's cardio. So we'll see, man. That's going to be a fun fight to watch for sure. Camden Dusenberry saying, thanks for sharing. I've always wondered how you ended up here. Appreciate all the work you do each and every week. My favorite MMA capper to listen to. I appreciate you, Camden. That means a lot, man. Thanks for the kind words. We got Larry saying, am I dumb for thinking there'd be a taxi at the train station in Elburn? Yeah, dude, no. That's one thing. because when I went back to Northern, I was living in Chicago on the lake, like Lawrence Avenue and the lake, right? So just to even get to 9094 took me like a half hour. Then I would have to drive up to Northern Illinois. So I was looking into the train to Elburn and then being like, okay, well, how easy is it to get from Elburn to DeKalb? It's unbelievable because like that's like this major thing that the governments have fucked up over there, where they're like, they've never gotten, they could extend that train line easily. I think that there's actually tracks as well that the train just doesn't go all the way to DeKalb. It's so bizarre. Yeah. Look, oh, you went to a show at NIU with a friend who lived in Chicago. I wonder what band you went to go see, Larry. I saw some shows at NIU in 1992, 1993, and 1994. Yeah, dude. No, you're not dumb for thinking there'd be a train there or a bus there or something, but there just never was. You have a great weekend too, Fernie. We got Dr. Stoppage, ILI, gets a F King beating. Say no more. Yeah, Ilya's going to get that stop. We got, yeah, I know we do need to get out to Vegas for a card one of these days, man. I know that Brady with the baby at home, it's hard for him to get away. And yeah, I probably could, though. We've got to figure that out, though. We got to hang out in Vegas for sure, Luke. We got Alan saying, what was the fourth leg? The fourth leg is the Laron Murphy by decision at -138. Leg 3, fight starts round 3, Magomedov Petrosian. Leg 2, Abu Magomedov money line, and leg number 1, Renat Fakhretdinov by decision. Came out to the number of the beast plus 666 on Bet Rivers Sportsbook, but now it's like plus 659 or something like that. We got T.O. Phillips in the room saying Champagne Weezy is the man. Keep it up. Appreciate you. These picks look solid. Yeah, Champagne Weezy is the DJ name, you guys, by the way, from way back in my college days. And then we got Larry Mavid saying LMAO genuinely blew my mind how difficult it was. Saw Kid Cootie back in 2012 there. There you go, man. Do you see Ilya by decision as a worthy play? Yes, I do. That is my pick. The High Owl. I am picking Ilya Topuria to win by decision. You guys, thank you for hanging out. We've been here for an hour. We talked. We had some fun. We told some stories. The parlay, really quick, once again, Renat Fakhretdinov by decision. Abus Magomedov money line. Fight starts round 3 for Magomedov Petrosian and Laron Murphy to win by decision. Let's cash this thing. It came out to plus 666 on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. One more time, join up on the Dub Club, you guys. Still some spots left in that limited offer to join the Dub Club for $5 for the first month and get access to all the phenomenal work that I do every week, breaking down these fights so that everybody can make better MMA betting decisions. Thank you guys for your attention. 196 live viewers right now. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And look in the description of that video for one of the most valuable clicks that you're going to make all week. Getting your Uncle Weezy's probability stats package on Dub Club for only $5 for the first month. Check out that introductory offer. Come join us and let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks together for UFC 308 and for every event for the rest of the year. You guys have a great weekend. Wake up early, enjoy these fights tomorrow, make some money, and then we get right back to work for UFC Edmonton next week. We got Larry saying, appreciate you, Weezy. Appreciate you, Larry. Thanks for signing up. Richie saying, just joined the Patreon. Thank you, Richie. Welcome to the club, my man. Good to have you on board. BT saying, cheers, Weezy. Enjoy the fights, man. You do the same. MMA Jay saying, you're the man. You're the man, Jay. Welcome to the Dub Club. Appreciate you for signing up. And we got Billy saying, Petro KO, Kennedy sub, Ferreira KO equals see ya in Mexico. Good luck to you, Billy. And Aussie Fight Fan saying, good luck this weekend, mate. Right back at you, Aussie Fight Fan. Let's get this money this weekend. You guys, let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks for UFC 308. And I will see you on Sunday night on DFS by the Numbers YouTube channel, as usual, 6:15 Central Time for Stat Diggers. Guys, have a great day. Later.